Alright. So today's our topic will be advancement on gear measurements. So basically,
Yeah,
we'll see the whole process or the techniques which they use to measure the gears before actually the manufacturing or machining process. So basically, we'll now first see the traditional methods or the traditional techniques how they used to measure the gears before actually performing the machining process or the manufacturing process. Okay, so the manufacturing process basically, if we take a gear without inspecting it or without their gear measurements. So first slide पे रहे रुक जा
okay.
जा फर्स्ट स्लाइड पे
फर्स्ट स्लाइड पे
इधर गियर मेजरमेंट दिख रहा है ब्रो तेरा स्लाइड चेंज नहीं हुआ
नेटवर्क का कुछ प्रॉब्लम है फर्स्ट स्लाइड ही किया मैंने
so basically we'll now see. So before actually putting the gear into the machining, रुक जा अभी चुप है. So before actually putting the gears, actually using the gears in the machining or manufacturing process, the gears are actually be inspected or measured. So first of all, how this gear measurements are done or how the process has been taken into consideration. So for the traditional way of gear measurements was done online basically. So how this used to be done? So basically, a gear CAD file used to be made. So as we make a CAD file of all the gears or all the parts of manufacturing and certain purpose. So in the similar way, the gear is to made on a CAD, and ideally, the gear has to be the same and same outcome should become, but it wasn't possible due to some drawbacks in manufacturing process. The manufacturer used to tell that this part will not be up to the certain mark which you have created in the CAD file. Okay, so because of that, there used to be some problems or some manufacturing defect, or which was not ideally perfect to the CAD file which was made. Okay, so taking into that consideration, all the inspection or measurements of the gear are to be done. So this inspection and gears basically helps the time loss. Like सपोज एक गियर लिया, उसको मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस में डाल दिया, एंड देन जब पता चला कि गियर में डिफॉल्ट था, तो तभी दो चीज़ें हो गई. एक तो टाइम लॉस होगा, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का डीले हो जाएगा. दूसरी चीज़ होगी, जो अपन ने प्रोडक्ट लिया था, जो मटेरियल लिया था, जो एक्चुअली फाइनल प्रोडक्ट बनाना था, उसका मटेरियल वेस्ट हो जाएगा, प्रोडक्ट एफिशिएंसी कम हो जाएगा. Okay, so this was the basic, and in detail, my mates Karan, Manjiri, and Kunal will explain further. So this was the overall summary of today's presentation. So next slide, Manjiri will continue. Manjiri.
Next slide. Gear measurement. So when accessing the quality of gears, both form errors and position errors are considered. So what are form errors? Form errors describe a deviation from the nominal shape, and these include profile errors and lead errors. What are position errors? Position errors describe the accuracy of the location of teeth and include pitch error and runout. These profile errors noise where gears are meshed, while lead errors reduce the load carrying capacity of the gears. Hence, it is very essential that all of these errors must be considered correctly understood to assess the quality of a gear. Now, let us see the ways, the techniques of gear measurements. These are of three types: tactile techniques, optical techniques, and acoustic techniques. Next slide. driving. And double flank testing and probing using either a CMM, that is coordinated measuring machine, or a rolling machine. In double flank gear rule testing, it consists of a master gear which is measured a test in which measures center distance variation is to describe the result. So the drawbacks are there is difficulty in repeatability with this method due to the change that is wear. Also, in this method, there can be sliding can occur, which can lead to unstable readings. Also, it is found that there was no clarity or fixed guidelines for measuring or reporting in such inspection. Therefore, a new and a better alternative, that is double flank rack probe, was developed. Double flank wrap in double flank rack probe, a probe is used rather than a gear, and this is faster and more repeatable than the one in which the gear is used. Next, optical technique. There are various methods of optically measuring gears. One such is laser line triangulation. We can say can deliver uncertainties of only a few micrometers, and this can be used online. So it has its own drawbacks. The triangulation can be inaccurate and it can deviate from tactile measurements due to reflection from the gear flanks and other systematic errors. The alternative or a better method for laser line triangulation is laser interferometry. This allows faster scanning speed that can be achieved tactically. And the beam of laser interferometry has a small diameter, which makes it into small topology. This is a great advantage. In addition to laser interferometry, white light interferometry based sensors have also been developed. These sensors are for the surface topography measurement of the tooth flanks. Acoustic techniques. Next. Next slide, Karan.
I have changed.
Acoustic. So when in operation, gear surface quality can also be assessed by noise monitoring or acoustic emissions. Acoustic emission, that is AE, is less sensitive to background noise and resonance. Hence, as a result of this, there is lower susceptibility to environment. Due to this factor, it is considered much more reliable than vibration. The drawbacks of acoustic emissions are that it requires the gears to be meshed. That is, while testing, it should be in operational environment, which is more time consuming than measuring in manufacturing environment. Next. Advantages of new techniques to improve efficiency. So let us see the advantages over the traditional ways. The output image that we get from the image processing method allows the user to instantly identify the profile errors and form errors. Also, we get the information on overall error volume, information on type of error, and it also enables manufacturing modifications to be determined. Thank you. Now, Karan will continue.
Sir, am I audible? Hello.
Hi. Yeah. Audible.
Good morning. Firstly, I will talk about different forms of teeth in a gear. So first is involute profile. It is a profile which is the locus of a point on a straight line which rolls around a circle. Next is cycloidal profile. It is a profile formed when a point on the circumference of the circle rolls in a, and the advanced methods for gear measurement. First is inspection of gears. Includes involute measurement. In this, the gear to be tested is mounted on a mandrel, as shown in the figure, and a circular disc of same size as that of the pitch circle diameter is also mounted on the same mandrel, and the variation in profile of the tooth is recorded using a dial gauge. Next is pitch measuring machine. This instrument has three tips. One is fixed measuring tip, other one is the sensitive tip whose position can be adjusted by a screw, and the third tip is meant for stability of the instrument and its position can also be adjusted by a screw. The distance between tip 1 and 2 is calibrated using slip gauges. All three tips are made contact to the gear under test, and the reading of the dial indicator shows the variation in the pitch. Next is functional method. It involves mainly checking of gear running with another gear during operation. Parkinson gear tester or automating gear rolling machines are used in this. Next is rolling gear test. In rolling test, gear to be tested rolled with the master gear. We can find out any errors in tooth form, pitch and concentricity of the pitch line. Thank you. Now Vineet will explain.
Oh,
Karan, please move on to the last slide, like the slide before this,
Okay.
the rolling tester.
Parkson gear.
But, ha. So
Ah,
basically, I like to explain this gear, how it works, or how the error is calculated, or how the gear is measured. So basically, here we'll see that there is this master gear. That master gear is fixed, okay, and the gear under test is actually attached. So this is a fixed spindle and the master gear is already hinged into the whole process. So when the master gear moves slowly, the calibrated spring will make any deflection in either of side, which is directly connected to the dial indicator. So as soon as the master gear moves, uh, it will uh, it will test, the gear will move accordingly, and in that according the dial indicator will show the percentage error or what error is actually showing. So this was the basic functional method, or this is how the rolling gear test functions. So this was left to explain. So yeah, so the next slide, Karan. Now
yeah, bevel gear it is. Next slide.
Karan.
Yes, I network issue है.
हाँ ठीक
Network
है.
issue है भाई.
Yeah.
हाँ okay. All right. So motorized bevel gear tester. So first of all, I like to explain that what is a bevel gear. So bevel gear is basically used in some of the very known processes, which I like to tell is differential gear. So differential gear is a part of a vehicle which is used. So all right. So what is a bevel gear tester? Okay, so before applying bevel gear into any instrumental purpose, or any vehicle or any motorized uh, okay, so for that the gear is tested before. So bevel gear tester is basically a machine. The both the ends are hinged together. In that, the gear is attached on a cylindrical this.
हाँ बोलो.
1 second, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, sir. Huh. So,
हाँ.
I was saying that there are two gears actually. Okay, wait, 1 second. Huh, okay. Sorry. So the bevel, before the bevel gear assemblies, the bevel gears are tested and in final inspection. This gear actually, due to the motorization inspection time, the accuracy of the uh, bevel gear is tested and inspection is enhanced. So what this motorized bevel gear tester says, the bevel gear is made is rotated in as it works, and it actually checks the clearance of the flush. So actually the teeth, or the the difference between the teeth, or it actually actually fits both one above the other, and it has to move smoothly and function correctly. So that is the first thing which is tested in it. The second thing which this can tell is the error by double flank rolling of bevel gears, which was the same error showed by the rolling tester which we saw just now. Okay, and checking of assembly distance. So what is assembly distance? So both the gear has to fit in according such that they have to move smoothly, and they have to fit each one teeth above the other. So if that is possible, then only the gear will function properly. And the last error which we will check here is backlash. So what is a backlash error, that Kunal will explain properly in the next slide. So yeah, Kunal.
So, sir, basically there are six types of error. Cumulative pitch error. Uh, Cumulative pitch error. It is defined as the actual length between corresponding plus of teeth, not adjustment to each other. So, sir, in this diagram you can see the error. It is not fixing it. Means, sir, the next error is tooth thickness error. It is the difference in actual teeth thickness and required tooth thickness. Next is cyclic error, an error occurring during each revolution of the elements under consideration. Next is run out. It is the total range of reading of a fixed indicator with the contact point applied to a surface rotated with actual size about a fixed axis. Uh, Radial runout. It is the runout measure among a perpendicular to the axis of rotation. So the main backlash. It is the play between the melting tooth surface. That is the distance through which a gear can be rotated to bring a non-working flush in contact to teeth of a mating gear. So, sir, here are the diagrams of the errors. Hello.
Yeah, I am observing.
Yeah, that's it, sir.
Okay.
Yes, so I would like to explain it a bit more अच्छे से. So the
Acha.
backlash, so actually the backlash error is the first slide, the first picture which we can see is the operating pitch circles and backlash transverse operation. So it basically is, there is a gap between the trailing face of the drive. So basically a gear have two faces, which is a trailing face and a leading face. Okay, so there is a gap between the trailing face of the driving tooth and the leading face of the driving tooth behind the driven gear. So that gap between, which is shown in that image, is basically known as backlash error in the gear. Okay, so the next error is the tooth thickness error. So it is more of similar error, but the tooth thickness error is basically when a teeth. So as I said, the same thing, when the trailing teeth is on the leading teeth, but it does not fits perfectly, or it gets a bit of resistance, or the thickness of the tooth is more, and then the actually depth of the trailing tooth. So that is the main error. The tooth thickness error is known. So cumulative pitch error is more of a similar error to the tooth thickness error. Cumulative pitch error is actually when the teeth comes on the trailing the leading teeth falls on the trailing teeth. So at that time, the pitch of the, like as I said, in the tooth thickness, the question or the error was the thickness of the teeth. In cumulative pitch error, the error is the depth of the teeth. So yeah, this was the major errors in the gear which we can find or which are measured. So yeah, thank you so
ओके
much, sir.
ओके
Thank you, sir.
अच्छा
Thank you, sir.
सबका हो गया ओके
Yes, sir.
और कुछ पॉइंट्स वगैरह बताना बाकी है
Nice, sir.
नहीं
ठीक
सर,
है
सब
कुछ
खत्म।
रेफरेंसेस वगैरह लगाया है इसमें
So
Sir, report में
references
लगा है.
report mention
अच्छा
किया है.
रिपोर्ट में लगाया ठीक है ओके ओके सो
Yes, sir.
all other people so there are almost 46 and 47 students including Karan are there in this session. If you want to ask anything about gear metrology or gear measurement, you can ask them because it is there in your syllabus. If you want to ask them, you can ask them. They have covered pitch measuring machine, then that composite error, that Parkson gear tester, that gear rolling test we call it, then that dual gear arrangement that they show. There are again more details in that, but it is very difficult to cover in short seminar. Gear is a complex this phenomenon. Thread and gear. Gear is more complex than even thread. So thread and gear measurement is not a simple thing. So the students tried to cover on their side whatever they have understood from that, and that was a good seminar according to me. For student
Thank you,
level,
sir.
it was a good seminar. So if you have any genuine doubt, you can ask them, please. Otherwise, I will close the session. Okay, I don't think any question is there. That's why I'm closing the seminar now. Ek minute.
Yes, sir.
I'll stop recording.
Thank you, sir.
Stop recording.